Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 7 of our Elm Creek Oats and Goats gameplay series. I am the Ultra Farmer. We got a big episode and a busy episode this one. As you can see, our oat field behind us is being harvested. We're finishing up on that from last episode. We also have grass that we need to cut and bale, and we got a ton of field work that needs to be done and prep that's going to be happening for the fall. We're also constantly trying to raise the value of our horses, and if we can this episode, we will be selling 2 of them and picking up another piece of land. All that and more in episode 7. So let's jump right into it. Let's get to work. Let's get finished harvesting these oats and then continue on with our chores. All right, I'm just kind of getting ready to bale this field. To be honest, what I've been doing is honestly just not even windrowing it because it's such a small field. And my pickup range is just kind of on each side of the baler as is. It really doesn't take that long to kind of rip around this field and pick it up. And it's honestly, probably by the time I get it windrowed and then was to go bale it, like I think it's just quicker to do it this way, to be honest. Because really, you pick up basically the width of what the baler is, and yeah, it's really not that bad. Really not too bad. So that's what I've been doing with these. I got all of our other fields. I got the nitrogen taken care of on those fields, and I also got the lime. So the pH and the nitrogen levels should be like, as good as I can get them with, just going over it with one pass. Can't really do anything more than that, to be honest. So they'll be good for right now. I still want to get the hay picked up off this field. We'll store the bales away. I mean, we could probably go put a bale or two. No, we'll just put the bales in the storage for right now because it doesn't really matter. I got more than enough food in the, or I had more than enough food in the goat barn, which I'll double check. But yeah, for right now, I'll just throw these bales straight into the bale storage unit. And then we're going to cultivate this field. I will do any lime work or pH stuff that I have to do, or sorry, any lime or nitrogen work that I have to do on this field. And then we will kind of start cruising through into the fall months, which, like I said, I'm hoping some good cultivating and plowing contracts come through so that we can go make a little bit of extra cash. I'm also hoping that since we dumped a bunch of oats into the horse barn, that's going to change the value of salt and pepper, and we can get back up over that $30,000 mark, which I believe we'll be able to. And also, our greenhouse will start producing carrots, and so we can kind of also have that blend of root crops going into the horse barn. So they should be eating the most optimal kind of like blend of food that we can get them. I think. It might be just something we got to kind of play by ear, but it's a good. It's the plan that we have. I don't know if it's a good plan, but it's the plan that we have, and I'm just going to continue to roll with it. But like I said, I want to get this field as not a grass field or a field that we can make hay from for at least a year, and we'll just do straight oats. So I can get a good surplus. I'd like to have a good surplus of oats in the bar or in the silos, and then if we really wanted and we needed to make some extra cash, if we wanted, we could do a harvest where we converted all our fields to grass fields. And nah, I'm not gonna do that. We don't really need to do anything too crazy. We can just keep plugging away with the oats. I'm just going to keep doing oats, stockpiling the oats, and if we have a surplus towards the end that we want to sell, great. If we don't, and we have to just keep throwing it into horse barns, then that's what we're doing, and it's not that big of a deal. But I want to keep farming these fields and really try and get them dialed in so that our environmental scores are kind of at the prime that they can be. And yeah, just so we have a surplus of food. But I don't think we'll run out of hay at all, and I don't think we'll run out once we do another big harvest with all these fields at oats. We're going to be really far ahead, really far ahead. Did that take all of them? It did. Okay, perfect. I'm going to spin this baler around and we'll park this away. This is our 4755 tractor, so I'll go grab the cultivators with this unit after, and then we can cultivate that field. Like I keep going with lime and all that jazz. Maybe I won't worry about maybe I'll just deal with the pH levels for now and try and get all of that lime out of that spreader. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that'll be the plan. And go from there. Danny's just chilling out. His paws are probably all white from walking around in the lime. I'll have to wash him before he comes in the house. And that's all I know. I think I said I'm really hoping in the fall we can go find some good contracts. Uh, could we could take the combine up to go do that oat? Nah, it's too far away. I'm just gonna stick down at the farm. I don't want to go all the way up there with the combine just for that. What I do want to do though, what we're gonna have to do, which I don't know how I kind of forgot about that. Let's grab this tractor. I'll be able to do it with this lime tank on the back. I just gotta drop this front weight off, and then we'll go get those 2 bales off the field. So let's dump this right in there. And you know what I forgot to do? Like a dummy? I forgot to mulch our fields. Oh well. Guess we're gonna have to do that next time. I totally forgot about mulching the fields. Totally forgot about it. Dang, that sucks. Oh well. Because I don't think I can mulch now. I don't think I can mulch after I cultivated. Can I? No, there's no way. There's no way. I've never tried, I don't think, but I bet you there's no way. I'm not even going to try. We'll just take it as an L, and I don't think I can mulch over a grass field. Yeah, no, we'll just take the L on that. Dang, that sucks, though. I completely just spaced on that and completely forgot about it. Like I said, oh, we'll do it. We'll do it next harvest. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see if I can get this other bale on this other spike. Oh yeah, there we go. We're grooving right now. Dang, I can't believe I forgot about that. That would have gave us a little extra yield. What? Whatever. I gotta quit thinking about it and just move on. We'll get her next time. It is what it is. I'm gonna just jump in this tractor. Never mind, I missed it. So let's drop these off real quick. There we go. Yeah, we're set for bales for a while. Like, I haven't used one of those bales in a really long time. I will check the goat barn, but we will be good to go. They munch on meadow for most of the year and they barely eat any grass in the winter, or hay. Okay. Let's jump in this tractor and let's get a worker going on this field. I'm going to just kind of do some more messing around with fields to get them prepped out. The AI workers really get jammed out on this field and they really don't want to do it. This field is just an anomaly. It wouldn't do it with the tedders. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Weird stuff. Oh well, I'll just do it myself. We'll do it myself. Okay, I'm going to keep going with this field prep. I'll bring you guys back in the fall and hopefully I'll have some contracts for us to go do. All right, so we're on kind of major field prep mode right now, sort of. Not really major, I guess, but I'm just going through kind of getting all these fields done. Actually, I'll just do this field, I think. I could probably do it without GPS, right? I'm a grown-up or something like that. There's Danny. Danny, how we doing, bud? He's probably hungry. We will definitely feed him at some point during this episode. He's not gone hungry because that's all he does is eat, but he's good to go. But yes, we will definitely feed Danny. And we need to do a bunch of field prep. So I'm kind of going through, I've got our new field cultivated. If you're with us from last episode, we had purchased another field that had canola on it. Just kind of on the, I guess it would be like the southeast side of our farm. I guess depending on how you look at everything. But yeah, we'll say southeast. Hey? This is middle of farm. East, southeast, yeah, that's what we'll call it. Sure. Now, that field needs a bunch of work. We got to deal with nitrogen. We need to deal with the pH levels on that field kind of massively. It's a new field, so it hasn't had the attention, love, and care that we obviously put on our fields. All these fields are going to kind of need that same work as well. Now, our canola, it has been harvested. We really didn't get much of the canola. Not that I suspected we would, but it was more just we bought the field that had canola on it, and we figured, you know what, let's harvest it, because why not? So the canola is harvested. Our oats are done being harvested. Again, we don't really get a full combine with the fields that we have for our oats right now, anyways. Now, I don't have a for sure plan of how everything's going to go just yet, but I think our grass field, I think I'm going to swap it out to our new field, potentially. I don't really have a major plan for it right now, and I might make what is our grass field right now into another oat field. it don't, or I might make the new field out there into oats. I can't really decide if I'm being super honest. I think, well, I also, there's secret option number 3 where we don't do a grass field for the next year. Because I have a few bales stored away, and the goats and the horses don't really eat anything. You know what? That's probably what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna cut that grass that we have right now, bale it, and then we're gonna turn all of our fields into oat fields for the next growing season. I think I definitely will have, because we're gonna have enough hay. And worst case scenario, worst case, we could go buy a couple bales of hay if we had to feed the animals, but we won't have to do that. We have enough stocked up. I have a bunch stocked up, and we didn't even really use any over the last year. So if I get another cut off that field, it'll give us another 2 or 3 bales that we probably won't even use. We could get away without doing any grass fields for probably a year or two and just do straight oats. So right now we'll stick with that plan. All the fields will be going to oats after, of course, we get another cut and bale off that field, which we kind of got. Let's set that. We'll set a worker going on there. Let's jump into this. I got to turn my heads-up display on, and we'll see. Okay, we got 16 or 5,900, almost 6,000 liters of oats out of this. And actually, I'm gonna dump whatever I can into the horse barn right now. Can I just do this? Is it gonna let me do this? It is. Perfect. We will dump in absolutely everything that we can into this barn, which we should be able to dump a good amount in, if not all of this. Can we get all of it? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll know in a short amount of time. Now, another thing that we're going to be doing this episode, I haven't picked out an exact spot for it, but we need to be setting down a greenhouse where we can grow some either carrots or parsnips to add to our horse barn. Carrots like, or the horses like the carrots. Perfect. We got all of that in there. And while we're not going to be able to afford to set ourselves up to fully do like a carrot field. It's just going to be way too expensive for the equipment. We don't really need that much to feed the horses, to be honest. Like we need a really small amount. So I think a greenhouse is going to be a perfect option, and it would be a realistic option. Okay, that's perfect. That jumped in there. Now, we barely burnt any fuel, so I'm just going to park this thing away as is. Let's fold it up though. Doesn't get full of dust. Well, let's park this right in here. I'm actually going to move over just a little bit, make it a little bit easier for me to get out of this unit. But yeah, we got a busy episode. So let's park that. Let's jump out of this truck and let's feed Monsieur's bull here. Where is he? There he is. Yeah. Off he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Off he goes. Okay, let's hook onto... Actually, we'll just leave that trailer right there for right now. And I'm going to just spin around here, and I'll back this header trailer in beside the barn, so it's out of our way. Let's get hooked onto that unit. Kinda, sorta. Something like that. Okay, that's set down there. Now... I'm going to go put a front weight on this just because it's a bit heavy for this tractor when I put that spreader on the back. Let's get a front weight on here. And we'll go get our spreader, and I think I'm going to start with our nitrogen. No, I'll start with our PA, or what's in this thing. Let's start with what's in this thing. And I'm pretty sure it's fertilizer in there. Yep, it is. Okay. Well, let's go. Hopefully this is enough. We'll see. 29% full. Let's go see if it's enough to get us through this field. I don't know exactly how much we're going to have to put on, so let's see. See if it's enough to get through. We may have to put quite a bit on, so... But it's not that big of a field. I don't know. We'll see. No, I think we're going to be fine. I think we'll end up being fine. Let's tab back over and take a look at this tractor. Getting dangerously close to having this field completed. And then we'll go get a cut on our grass, bale that all out, and off we go. So while people are working, What I was kind of thinking was putting a greenhouse right in this area. So let's go into factories, generators. No, greenhouses. Okay, so this one doesn't work for us. These are for mushrooms. This doesn't do parsnips or anything. Let's keep looking. These are 50 grand. That'll do carrots. We just need a smaller one though. We don't really need one that's so big. 25,000. Okay, this one's 25. This one's 12. Multi-fruit. This one will use manure, but um that'll take straw, manure. Is there one that will just take in fertilizer? I think you can do either or in this too. Like you don't have to put manure in, you can do either or. Let's check this one. What can you grow in here? Sorghum, cotton. You can grow cotton in the greenhouse? Okay, here we go. Oil and yeah, this would be the one that we would have to put down. So potentially something like that would work. Potentially. Or if we could find a better spot for it somewhere else, I would be, obviously open to that, but I don't know exactly where. Unless we did, the only other spot I could think would be somewhere like over here, where it would get really good sun. I think though what we'll do is put it right here for now. Yeah, let's do it right there. Okay, this is done. Let's fold this up. We actually are done with these, I think for now at least. Dang, we're down to 36,000 bucks. Hopefully we can find some cultivating contracts this fall is usually our goal, and some plowing ones. If we could do that, that'll be great, but it's all good. We got to keep going into expansion mode here and getting done what we can get done. I'm going to park this truck for right now so I'm not tabbing into it. Okay, we didn't use too much on there. But I do have some bags of fertilizer that are in the main barn that I kind of want to use up since we have a silo sitting outside. I don't really need the bagged ones that came in the barn. So I'm going to kind of spin in through this door here and see if we can fill up a little bit. Yeah, see I got all these bags sitting right here. Yeah, that'll be good. And let's go to this small little field and get what we can do on here. And while that's happening, I'm going to run over to the greenhouse and just take a look at all the cycles and stuff that we have to do here. So let's open the door. Okay, carrots. What do we need? We just need water, and I can turn on our enable our watering since we got a water tank over there. So our carrots, let's activate this and we'll just put it on storing for right now. And yeah, we'll get some pallets of carrots out. We don't really need that much, so yeah, we'll just leave this for now. We'll get some carrots growing, and if we have to shut down we don't want to grow too much. I don't want to have this thing right full all the time. Although we know we could get it full and just kind of let it sit full and grab a pallet whenever we need it, which is probably what we'll end up doing. Um, and we just got to give it some time. It says material missing, but once we get some, if I speed up time, it will eventually start going. So let's shut the doors to this. And yeah, we'll come get these pallets as we need. Maybe I'll end up moving this over just slightly, but that doesn't really matter too much. Not for right now, at least. Let's take a look at this field, and I want to go back into our... Yeah, let's go, not necessarily on yield, but let's just check nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen's way better on this field now. Absolutely way better. We still got some weird spots that we got to work on, but planting the oilseed radish, I think will help. I I think, okay, and this task is complete right there, and then we gotta go get some nitrogen spread on this other field as well. So let's jump back in this unit and head over to kind of our main big field, and we'll spread some nitrogen or some fertilizer, however you want to look at it, on this field. And while this is all kind of happening, I'm going to get back in this tractor and hook onto our mowers and get a worker to go cut our grass field so that we can get that all baled and good to go kind of as well. So let's get hooked onto our mowers here. And then, like I said, we'll definitely be focusing on contracts in the fall to hopefully get some money back up. I mean, we still got to sell those horses. We will have some money coming in, but it's going to be slow going for a little bit. It's kind of expensive to buy that greenhouse, but it's just a one-time purchase, obviously, like we're not really going to we won't need anything else. Like anything that we need from that greenhouse, that 12 grand it's going to take care of us for this full farm build. So I'm not too worried about spending that money. Really, it's a pretty cheap option in comparison to like if we were to just go buy anything vegetable related. I mean, even the smallest, worst harvester is 40K and like 0.8 meters. What? Giants? What? 0.8 meters? What? My God, I think you could pick it faster by hand. I bet you almost could. Maybe not. I don't know. But 0.8 meters at a time? Good Lord. Good Lord. Okay, this is almost completed. Yeah, I'm just going to keep kind of plugging away with this. Once this is completed, I'm going to go and get lime loaded in this spreader and do the exact same thing. We'll try and balance out any of the pH levels. And then we will basically be going from there. Let's take a look at this map. Yeah, this is already so much better. Jeez, look at the nitrogen on this. Like, yeah, I'm going to plow this field after, I think, or at least cultivate it. Yeah, I'll definitely cultivate it, and I'll stick with the plan of plowing it once we plow all of our fields. Yeah, I think that'll be the best kind of plan. So, let's kick off. That looks like a pallet of lime underneath there. I'm gonna go like that. Yeah, that can sit right there for right now. That's the only thing, is I kind of wish I had two spreaders so that I didn't have to do this each time, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. And we might as well just fill this thing since we got so much lime. And let's head out to these fields and start doing the rounds. But yeah, I'll bring you back as this progresses and we start getting into a bit of the later months in the fall. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we can get into some contracts. All right, team, we are back. It is August, and I got all of our fields ready to go. So I went through, everything is like cultivated or plowed. No, sorry, none of them are plowed, just all cultivated. And they all got a layer of nitrogen, and I balanced the pH level on all the ones that I could. So we're basically ready to plant the oilseed radish, which we'll do, I think, in September or October. Doesn't really matter. We'll do it sometime in the fall. I'm just getting this tractor fueled up right now because as we were suspecting, we've got a couple cultivating contracts that have come through relatively close to the farm. Relatively close. This one's just down south a little bit. The farm's just right up over here, and this one's obviously real close, just over. So I'm going to accept both of these contracts. I'm going to accept that contract. And there's nothing harvesting. There is a plowing one for 4 grand that I might do, but another cultivating one might pop through. You never know. Sometimes this changes a little bit. So I think for now, I'm just going to stick with these 2 cultivating ones in there. And we'll go kind of work on those. So I'm going to go do field 21 first, just because it's kind of closest. And I think it's the bigger, well, yeah, bigger sort of amongst the 2. But that way I can do this cultivating contract. If I have to come get more fuel, I will. But I don't know for sure. Yeah, don't know. But yeah, we'll head over to field 21 right now. And I'll start a worker doing the cultivating on this field, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna head back over to the farm, and I think we're gonna sell salt and pepper. This is gonna be the month or the time that we sell salt and pepper. They're basically, I think, at the max value that I'm gonna be able to get them to, which is right around that 30,000 mark. Jeez, look at these fields. Is this an oat field? Why doesn't it tell me? Does it tell me? Yeah, honestly, I don't even really care. Um, if we keep grinding hard enough on this farm, one day it will be an oat field if we keep going good enough. But we've got to do, we've got a lot to work on. But I think I'm gonna sell salt and pepper. We'll take that money and we're definitely gonna buy. This is the field that I gotta cultivate. This field that looks freshly plowed. I mean, if you guys say so. If you guys say so, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's jump in. I had went through and I did a bunch of riding on all the horses, and let's just save the game real quick here before I do something crazy. Okay, so we're gonna go in. Yeah, I think salt and pepper are gonna be basically maxed out for what we're able to do. If I come back into here, um, like I got salt, 100% fitness, 100% daily riding, 100% cleanliness. Everything is balanced pretty well in the food. I think this is the max value that I'm going to get for salt, and essentially the same thing with pepper. We're pretty much, I think we're pretty much maxed out. Now, um, Groovy's value has like just about doubled, just about, pretty much because we got Groovy for 6,800, and yeah, right around that, 14,000 would be just over double. So the Groovy's looking real good. Penelope continues to like raise, and the reproduction's getting close. So she's at 63%. Opal is halfway through. The fitness is a little bit low, but I have been riding all these horses. So once Penelope and Opal pop, then we'll be able to kind of make some more decisions. But yeah, I think for now we will sell salt and pepper. I think this is going to be the max that I can get them to with everything at 100%. And I think it's not like they have to mature anymore. I don't know. We're going to roll with it and we're going to see. Maybe we'll regret it one day. But I think for now we made pretty good profit on them. So yeah, like we get almost 60 grand for those horses. So that's awesome. Okay. So Groovy and Opal are still in here. Sorry, Groovy's a stallion, but Penelope and Opal are pregnant. So I want to get two more. I think two more stallions. Well, we'll just see. We'll see like what's available. Now I kind of came down. It was towards the bottom. Millie looks really good, and same with Patches. Both these look really good. They've got really very, very high. I don't know. Millie weighs a little bit more. I don't know if that's what changes value, but like Slow Jasmine is less. I guess weighs less. They're all very high. I'm not too sure. Must go on the weight a little bit, but so I think we'll get Millie. Buy Millie. And but Moose is really expensive and then doesn't really have the same amount of weight. So I don't really know. I don't really know exactly. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. This one's 15 months. What other stallions do we got in here that have really good value? Nothing too crazy in there. Rambo, 0 months. That is a brand new horse. 36 months till they can reproduce, so quite a while. Nothing really in there. Marshmallow, not good enough. That seems too expensive. Freckles, again, that seems too expensive for. Nelly, 1 month old. That'd be way too long to get that value up. Yeah, I think maybe we'd have to get Patches or something. For now, I'm just gonna stick with what we got in there with Penelope, Millie, Groovy, and Opal. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with that, and then I'm also gonna go in and send mom and dad another 5 grand. Okay, so now we're down to 35K that we owe them. which I'm just taking my notepad here, and I got to make notes on that so we don't forget. So we're at 35K we owe them, which we could probably pay a little bit more once we get these contracts and stuff done. Maybe if another contract doesn't pop up, we might end up going and doing that one excuse me, that one plowing contract. But yes, our fields are looking pretty good. You know what I might actually do? Let's just go in and see while we're doing some of these contracts. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab the planter and start doing some oilseed radish on these fields and get that all prepped for the winter, because then we could roll these fields out as well. Actually, while we're here, I'm gonna spin around and put our trailer back in a little more kind of tucked away spot. And yeah, I'll get the old Massey Ferguson planter out, and we'll go start doing some oilseed radish on these fields. And then that way, as the contracts are going, at least we're getting something done around the farm. Spin this around. Danny's just out chilling in the field. Okay, that can go right there. Yeah. Jeez, it took a second there to disconnect that. Okay, let's go get the planter. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, over in the trees over here. Danny's just sleeping in that field. Good lord. Now I gotta make sure not that it'll let us plant it, but I gotta make sure I switch it from oats over to oilseed radish. I went too far. Right there. Okay. Let's head over to the far field and yeah, let's get our oilseed radish planted. See if we can get a little bit more nitrogen in these fields throughout the winter. I still really want to buy this sunflower field here, but I don't want to have to deal with the sunflowers. Like, I don't want to have to harvest these because we don't have headers. Like, it was fine with the canola because our grain headers could do it, but we don't have headers for sunflowers, and I definitely don't want to go buy some. So I think I'm just going to have to wait till that field is, done and good to go. But there, we sold our first horses. Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Unbelievable. It's kind of sad to see them go, but we will have more. We'll have some other good horses in the future. I'm not too worried about it. Plus, I think, and if anyone knows any different, I think we did it at their max value. Like, no matter what I could do, I couldn't really get pepper over that 30K mark, and I couldn't really get salt over that 32K mark. I don't know why, but that just seemed to be what it was. Yeah, it just seemed to be what it was. Now, also, while we're doing this, let's jump out. Let's head over to the, let's go see what goats are available. Jeez, we got some goats in here. Excuse me, everybody. Okay, let's scroll down and see. Okay, this ram seems pretty decent. $1,000 for that ram. Well, let's just do it. We're slowly just picking away, getting a really good. And let's check their food. If I jump out, maybe if I just get close to this barn, it'll tell me. Okay. 18,000 liters worth of food. Okay. And they're still munching on meadow. All their health is at 100%. So we could throw a bale in here at some point. Maybe once the tractors are done doing a bit of field work and such, we can hook onto those front attachers and get a bale or two and throw it in that barn just for good luck for the winter. And that's really all I can think about right now. Oh, let's go check on our greenhouse. Look at this. We got some pallets of carrots sitting out here. Nice. We got one pallet of carrots. Not too bad. And I'm just going to let them sit here for now. Let them kind of collect and sit here. And we'll just take them over to the horse pasture as we need them. We'll throw our pallet forks on and do that. So I'm going to kind of let the cultivating and stuff go a little bit further here. And then, yeah, I'll bring you back as that's finishing. And if any other contracts pop up, or maybe we'll just decide to go do that plowing one. Not too sure. But yeah, I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, so I got all of our fields planted with the oilseed radish, and we're still just working on contracts. The cultivating contract, you can see at the top right, it's about 83, 84%. It's probably getting close to done. I think the up downs are pretty much done on that field, and it's just getting onto the headlands now. So it will finish up, relatively quickly. And I'm just kind of going through. I probably don't really need to roll these fields with the oilseed radish, but I thought, while the cultivating contracts are going on, might as well, get busy living or get busy dying. And that was a good movie. Like Shawshank. Like when's the last time you guys watched Shawshank Redemption? I haven't seen it in a while either. That's it. Like popped up on my phone the other day. I seen a bunch of clips of it, and I was like, man, that was a good movie. Like handy to frame, you know, handy to frame. How often do you really look at a man's shoes? That was a good one. I'm glad he got away in the end. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Shawshank, I mean, I don't know. You got to put that on the to-do list. Top of the to-do list. But I want to. I don't know if I'm gonna go do that plowing contract. I've kind of just hemmed and hawed on it, and I'm thinking probably not. I don't really know. I'm back and forth on it. I'm back and forth. Um, we'll get the cultivating one done. I'm kind of just rolling through, rolling through. Yeah, but I'm just going through, getting these fields rolled out, and then we'll be getting into the fall. I think I'll probably just wait on that plowing contract, to be honest, because there's probably going to be some other cultivating ones that pop up. Actually, speaking of contracts, let's go in and collect that one that we completed. Boom. And you know what? Let's just stay on the train of getting this done. Let's send my mom and dad an extra 5 grand. Okay, so now we're down to 30. We owe them 30 bands. But we're picking away at it. We're picking away at it, which is good. And I built the spreadsheet for tracking the horses for when we buy and sell them and all that stuff. So I'll keep track of all that to kind of see like our net profit on horses. I'm also just gonna watch this AI spin in circles. Like this is why like sometimes it's like I wish like or like I should just do the like just do these fields. These fields are so small. By the time the AI worker spins itself around, gets itself orientated to true north within 3/60th of a degree, we could just have run around and kind of did these like abstract passes that would get this field done. So I think that's what the plan's going to be for the next little bit. We'll get these fields all, cultivated or not cultivated, but rolled out, and then they're pretty much good to go. Like I don't think we'll have to do really anything too much in the springtime when we go to plant all of our oats. I am excited to do a whole just like season of just oats, which will be kind of cool. Just to get all the fields in oats. And it'd be nice not to bale for a little bit. Would be great. I still got to pull a couple bales into the goat barn. I can't forget to do that, which I probably won't. Probably won't. Maybe won't. I'm not too sure. We'll see if I remember to do that. But they'll be good. They do have meadow for a little bit more. These rollers are good, but they kind of just they uh, they slide around. It's like almost like I'm pulling them on ice or something like that. But these are a good set. This is a mod. I believe they're 12 meters wide. Yeah, I believe they're 12, and they go pretty quick, and uh, and they don't cost too terribly much. I like they're really really good option other than like what's in the base game. The base game is just kind of brutal to be honest. The real rollers that are brutal in the base game are the large set ones. Like those things are just they're massive, which if you got big fields, I mean, is like what you want, but they're just the biggest, most awkward thing. Like they don't in FS22, the ones that came in the base game, I think they were the Dalbo Mega Rolls, and they were 24 meters, I'm pretty sure wide, but they folded up nice. Like it wasn't such a mess. The ones in the base game are just they're super annoying if I'm being honest. I really, really don't like using them. Especially if you get into a farm that's kind of like tight quarters and you try to like turn, they get hung up on everything. There's nowhere to like store them and like park them away. That's where I wouldn't even bother rolling fields, like to be honest. For 2.5% yield bonus, it's not worth messing around with them. Um, just my opinion. Of course, these ones are good, but they do drift around. They drift around quite a bit. If this was real life, we would put some weights on top of them and try and keep them a little bit steadier. But and so for the next few months, through the winter, I think what I'm gonna do is probably, unless like I see a good deal come through on a specific horse, I'm probably just gonna kind of stick with what we got and wait for that. Well, there's 2 horses that are gonna be born probably next year. Yeah, they'll probably come next year, maybe in the springtime, is what I'm thinking. I don't know though. That one, like Penelope, it seems like has been pregnant for a long time. It seems like a long time, but maybe I've just maybe I'm tripping out. But definitely seemed like she'd been pregnant for a long time. So hopefully those little ones are born in the springtime, and then we can either. I'm just curious to see like what value they're gonna be, like immediately when they're born. What value are they gonna be? Jesus, drifted around. I'll miss that spot because like the genetics from Penelope are pretty good, so I'm assuming those, like there was some in the store that one was 0 months old and it was worth like 2 grand. Like I wonder if that's the case, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth. Well, no, it will be worth because it's like if they're born, essentially they're like just free. We got them for like free essentially, and then in a couple years they could be worth up to 30 grand. It's kind of a bit though to like wait those years to get them up to 30 grand, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna set a worker on this, and I'm gonna go grab this tractor and bring this back to the farm. Set that. Let's get this contract. Let's collect that. We've really just been hovering around this 100K mark, which is pretty good considering that we bought that field. But then, we did sell those 2 horses. Yeah, all in all, it's going pretty good. I would say. Gotta make sure the train doesn't get us here. Just jump across the tracks, no big deal. Take the shortcut back to the farm. What other stuff should we talk? Oh, yes. Like always, if you guys haven't done so, go ahead and check out the Discord. The Discord is now live. There's a link in the description. You guys can go join the Discord. Hard Times Hog Farm. If you the I'm just trying to think when this episode will come out. Yeah, by the time this episode comes out, the Hard Times Hog Farm finale episode will be out. That's coming out in the next couple days. So from when I'm recording this right now, if you're watching this right now, it's definitely out. It's live, and that series we wrap up. It's a pretty crazy amount of money that we make from the final pig sale. So it's make sure and go check out. Even if you just want to go check out episode 30, we sell all the pigs. We sell all the pigs except two. I keep Buck and a friend for Buck in the barn, but we sell all. So we sell 2,486 pigs, and we make a pretty crazy profit off that. I won't spoil it, but it's a pretty crazy profit off of pigs to kind of finish off that series, which is exciting. And the supercut for the final 10 episodes will be coming out as well. What else? We're getting dangerously close. I mean, hoping by the time this episode comes out, we will have hit that 1,000 sub marker. But we're not quite there just yet. As of right now, we're at like 930 some, which is still unreal. Thank you to everyone who's hit that sub button. Appreciate it big time. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really hoping we can make it to that 1,000 mark. I mean, like we will be able to make it there. I'm just impatient. I'm just kidding. It's pretty cool though. I remember vividly having 67 subs. So to have over 900, I know is like not unprecedented. There's people out there with way bigger channels, but it's pretty cool for me. So thank you to everyone. Appreciate you guys big time. Let's go just check the contracts. I don't think anything's changed. There is a baling one that popped up. We could do square bales. We could take our baler up there, but I don't know. I don't feel like dragging it all the way up there. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe not. I think we'll just wait and kind of get into next year. I'm gonna get this field rolled out, or get into the fall next month, and we'll see what pops up for contracts. Probably some more cultivating ones will pop up since it's August, and there's got to be some plowing ones that will be out there as well. So I'll get this kind of finished up, get the oilseed radish wrapped up, and I'll bring you back in September/October, pending on the contracts. And oh yeah, there's nothing good in the used vehicles or nothing that we need, that's for sure. So yeah, we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, crew, welcome back to September. We're just kind of pulling around here. I'm not gonna lie, the cultivating contracts that came through were they're just a little bit kind of mid, if I'm being honest, but there is one decent plowing contract, so I'm just gonna hook onto our plows. I haven't accepted it yet. I'll go show you. I'll show you which one it is. It's just kind of to the east of the farm. So let's go in here. Yeah, I got it right on here. Field 18. So our farm's just right over here. 14 is the neighbors. So I'm going to accept this plowing contract. I don't know where this one is. Oh, it's up north. That's up in the northwest. So I'll accept that contract. I'll go back. Like there is cultivating one, $600. 1600, 14, I guess 1500-ish. Not great, if I'm being honest. There's a hoeing contract we could potentially go do as well. That's pretty close to the farm, sorta, kind of, sorta. Not super close to be honest, but close enough. Other than that, there's not really that many good ones. But let's head over. Let's head over and get this tractor started plowing at least. All our oilseed radish is coming through very nicely. Got to go ride the horses and such, but that's kind of like a never-ending task. I really got to hire someone to come help and ride the horses for us. That would be pretty epic. Not gonna lie, that would be pretty epic. Let's just set the cruise control here for a second. I mean, that's a vegetable planter. Mower? That's a mower? Really? Wow. And then that little small square baler, which I kind of talked about getting one of those before, but now I don't know. I don't know. Do we really need one? I don't think I need one. No, I don't need one. We definitely don't need one. We have a baler, so we definitely don't need one. So I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. 12 grand's cheap, but we could use 12 grand to go towards another field way more than we need a small square baler. That's for sure, I think. If we were limited with horsepower or something like that, that might be a different story, but nah, we seem to be just fine. So what I'm gonna do now though, so that I don't forget, so we're gonna hook on to our front attachers here. We're gonna go drop a couple bales into the goat barn. Let's back that out. Oh no, I hit the forks. Maybe I can just push these. Gonna be hard to get those out next time we need to use them though. Let's see if I can spin these around like a real. If this was real life and I accidentally did that, I would take way too much time in the tractor, just like I'm doing right now, and I would try and spin these around. Oh no. This is what I would be doing. And everyone would be like, you could just get out, and I could probably move them by hand, you know? But as long as they're like that a little bit, I'll be able to hook onto them and use them. There we go. Now they're in a good spot. We can come grab them after. Because what I might do, I'm going to check the horse barn here, but maybe we'll go grab one of those pallets of carrots and see if we want to take them over to the horses. Okay, so let's bring out... Okay, we got 6 of those at 6,000 liters. Okay, so let's get that bale out of here. We'll get that bale out for sure. That one's 2,000 liters. Let me grab... yeah. Is there 2 sitting there? Okay, yeah, there's 2 sitting there, which is weird because it only said 1. Am I tripping? Maybe they were slightly different sizes. That's probably what it was. Let's grab those and let's head over to the goats. We'll check in too and see if there's any other goats that we can buy while we're over there. We'll check in and see what's available. Let's drop these bales in. Okay, let's jump out of the tractor real quick here and just see what's available. Team, how we doing in here? Okay, this ram is $4,000? Good Lord. 31 months? This one's like really kind of the same, and it's just got like all these really good genetics. Let's buy this one for sure. That's some good genetics right there. What about... Good Lord. A $4,000 goat. My God. My goodness. Alright, team, let me out of here. How's everyone doing? They seem to be doing good. Seem to be doing alright. Let's jump back in this tractor. I want to go grab... I don't want to put too many root crops in there, but I think I want to go put a pallet of carrots in. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? What could it hurt? Horses love carrots, right? So let's drop... yeah, those can go right there. We'll grab these bad boys. And let's go grab some carrots. Is there crop damage when I run over oilseed radish? I guess it's on the first growth stage, so it might not actually destroy it. Oh, coming in a little hot there. So there's 2,000 liters in these pallets. Interesting. I thought there was only 1,000 liters per like carrot pallet, but that's good to know. So we got 2,000 liters. We definitely put a bunch of oats in, so we should our range should still be pretty good, even if we put this pallet in. Nice. Let's just jump out and double check here. Food, 9,500. So they're still doing good for some food. Most of that's probably oats, if I'm being honest. Can we see? Yeah, so we got to put some more hay in there. That's good columns right there. I wonder if I can just go... I know we don't got these pallets, or these, you know what? I'm just going to grab the bale spike, because I'll end up pushing it back into the drop-off area, and it'll just go back into the unit, and I'll probably end up coming to do this anyways. Plus, this will give me a chance to kind of put these forks in a little bit better of a spot. That's like a little bit more out of the way. Right there will be good for those. We'll grab a bale spike and we'll put a couple bales in for the horses. And then they should be good for the winter, I think at least. And if we got to plant some grass, we always could plant grass if we're going to start to run out of hay. But like I said, worst case scenario, I'll go buy a couple bales and it'll be fine. We could throw it in the truck and it won't be too much of an issue. What's kind of an issue is this fertilizer pallet is in the way. Okay, I'm just going to back up here. Alright, and let's jump out and let's get... I don't want 6 of those, I just want 2. I think 2 will be good. And we got to be careful we don't put it in the drop-off area. Yeah, it might not take that whole bale. Yeah, we're right full on food. So I'll leave that bale there, and it'll kind of just go in as it needs to go in. So the horses are going to be good to go. Okay, well, I'm going to let the plowing contract kind of finish out. The only thing I'm going to do here kind of off camera is just ride some of the horses and get their you know, their fitness and everything up and their riding up. So you guys really won't be missing out on too much. I'm going to drop these attachments off. And I think what we'll do is we'll end episode 7 there, and we'll kind of pick up from here in episode 8. We'll be getting into the fall, kind of get through the fall, do some more contracts, and then in the springtime it's going to be oat planting season, and hopefully we get a little baby horse kicking around or 2. Would be nice. Shut this tractor down. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it like you wouldn't imagine. Thanks again to everyone who's hit that sub. How do we still have Pepper? This can't be right. And there, the game crashed. All right, right on. Stand by. Okay, I figured I'd bring you guys back in. I figured you'd come back in just so you can see how really annoying that is when that happens and the game crashes. Because now we're back. None of these fields are planted. None of them are rolled. And I'm just 6%, 7% done cultivating those original contracts that we went and did. So there's that. So I got to go through and redo everything that we just did to get us back to that point. That's really annoying that the game is bugged like that, but oh well. I just wanted to bring you back in so you can see the pain that this is when just something simple like that happens, and I hadn't saved the game since that point. Just by chance, just going and recording, so I'm going to get everything caught up. I'll bring you guys back. It'll be like October in episode 8, and we'll pick up from there. So I'm going to go replant all these fields and, yeah, get them re-rolled and all this stuff. Good Lord. Okay. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. Put some words of encouragement in the comment section for me having to go redo all this work. Maybe file a complaint to Giants or the modders who creating mods that are making the game crash. I don't know if it's precision farming or the realistic animals or what, but you know, do something. Do something. Thank you guys, like always, so much. Thanks to everyone. I know I said it kind of before, but everyone who's hit that sub, hit the like, and all that stuff, just know I do really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a bunch, everyone. I will see you guys on the next episode. I'll get everything back to kind of where we had it, and we'll go from there. Take care, everyone.